Hi everyone, Mike here from Easy Business App. I just wanted to give you a quick introduction to our latest feature, which is Easy Super. So this is a way to pay superannuation contributions to all your employees' super funds, all right from within Easy Business App. And it's included for free in all our existing Easy Payslip plans. So perfect time to get going. A quick walkthrough, I'll just show you how it's set up, how you make the payments, and just point out a few things along the way. If you come into Easy Business App, you'll find in our Easy Payslip module there's a super menu where you can come, and this is where you'll begin the setup. There's a help guide, which you can see if you click on the Learn More tab there. With some, it's worth reading actually. There's some useful information in here about getting started, some good FAQs and things. So I definitely recommend having a look at that. But when you're ready to get set up, you can click this setup button. So this is important. We've partnered with a clearinghouse called BPAY, and you also might see them referred to as Precision sometimes. You'll sometimes see the payments mention Precision. So that's a third-party company. They will operate as a clearinghouse for your super payments. That means you send one payment to BPAY, and then they will distribute the payments to each of your employees' super funds. So it's obviously just a much easier way of doing it than you having to pay all of your employees' super funds individually. So that's why we've introduced it. So click on this, read the information here. When you're ready, you can click on Register with Beam, and it will take you to a separate tab, which will let you complete the registration process. So again, it's not us; it is a third party. So do your diligence. Read what you're signing up to. But it's as I described. They operate as a clearinghouse. We will pass through all of your business details from Easy Business App already, so it makes it super easy. We currently, as of 15th of October 2025, only offer BPAY as the payment solution, so there's not really a choice on the next screen for payment method. On the third screen, you can choose your default fund. You can search for a fund here if you already have a default fund, or you can include them here. It is also possible to enrol with the Australian Retirement Trust through this. There's a little handy accordion here which explains what a default fund is, and what decision making you might want to do to choose that. We can't advise you on that. That would be financial advice. Purely for the purpose of this demo, I'm just going to select ART, and we can search for a fund here. You can also have more than one default fund. We do support that as well. So if you wanted to add a second one, third one, you absolutely can do that. That's perfectly doable. So I'll proceed through this now. There's a product disclosure statement here, which has all the details of what you're signing up to and how everything works. So please read that. And there's privacy policies here. If you do sign up with Australian Retirement Trust, there'll be a second checkbox here. So I will just complete these for the purpose of the demo. And it doesn't take too long. Once we're done here, we get this little thing saying congratulations. So registration with Beam is now complete. So I can click this back to Easy Business App button, or I can just go back to the tab that I was on before. And it will auto refresh. And I can now see a different screen. I can see now I've got some pay slips which are appearing here for some of my employees. If I come back to the payroll screen, we'll see we've got 2 pay runs for 2 employees, so there's 4 pay slips total, and those have come into the To Pay tab because there is super on those pay slips. So basically, we look at the pay slips, we look at the payment date. It defaults to the previous quarter. So this is saying pay slips up to the 30th of September from the 1st of July. We don't currently support doing retrospective super payments, so you'll only see pay slips with a payment date later than the 1st of July 2025. We've selected the quarter here. I can see that there's 4 pay slips for 2 different funds with the totals. Paying super is really easy. I can select that I want to pay all of them for this period. Click on the big Pay Super button. The first time I do this, it will ask me to provide some bank details. This is for any refunds. So if a payment's made and distributed to the super fund, but for some reason they reject it, maybe they can't find the member or there's some other problem, and they refund the money, these are the bank details that that Beam will process for you for the refund. So make sure this is the correct bank account. If you already use ABA files to pay your staff in payroll, then the bank details will pre-populate. So you might already see bank details here, otherwise just complete them. We'll then get to this payment summary screen. So this will tell me for my employees how many pay slips there are and the payment date range for those. And it'll say, just double confirm the funds that's going into. If we just quickly jump into an employee record, come over to the Super tab, this is where this information is coming from. So really important that you make sure the super fund name, the ABN, the USI and the membership reference are completed. We do also support self-managed super funds. So if you have employees with those, no problem. There's slightly different fields and you'll need the bank details. Add those too. You can also choose, if you have an employee who on their superannuation standard choice form has specified that they'd like to be enrolled in your default super fund, you can enroll them here by just selecting that option, and that will automatically take place when you pay super for the first time. So that will all be handled through this process as well. So I've got a total amount here. This is the amount I'm going to have to pay. We can see how it's broken down, the number of pay slips. We can also see we've got, for me, some salary sacrifice of $100 there, and the rest is just the superannuation guarantee. And here for Paul, this is just the superannuation guarantee. So we'll just break it out when there are different super types. So when I'm ready, I'm happy with these. This is the correct pay slip. This is the amount that I want to pay. I can hit the Pay Super button. I just need to sign it to confirm that this will create a BPAY request for this amount of money. Okay, so that's gone through now. You'll see the payment status has changed to preparing. It's just, it takes a minute or so, usually less than that, to just generate the BPAY. There we go, it was less than a minute to just generate the BPAY details. We've got here the biller code, the reference, and the amount you need to pay. All these are copyable, so you can just copy them and paste them into your internet bank. Please note the reference number. So the reference number will change every time you do a payment. So this doesn't identify you as an individual or you as a business, AA Plumbing. It identifies this individual payment. So just be careful when you're doing that you always copy the reference and get the correct amount as well. So dead easy, just get into the habit of copying these, pasting them into your internet bank and making the payment. And that's it. So if I come back now, my To Pay tab has got nothing on it, and that's because they've moved across onto the Paid tab. So now I can see I've got one payment here. It's just waiting for me to make that BPAY payment. And once I do that, it takes I think 3 business days for that to clear with the clearinghouse and for them to distribute it out to the funds. And then you'll see this status then will change to completed. If there are any errors or anything like that, you'll see that the status will change, and we report those errors in detail for you here. So if there is any issue, that will be reported. And if you did enroll any employees in your default fund, new will also generate the reference number, their membership reference number. That gets passed back through the message, and that will get updated into their employee record. So you shouldn't have to do anything. Nice and straightforward. So that is that. There's one other feature I didn't show. There is an ignored tab here. So if you've paid some super outside the system or whatever, you just don't want to see the pay slips anymore in your To Pay tab, you can just select them and click ignore, and it will move them across to the ignored tab. And I think that's it. If you want to change any of your details with Beam or change your bank details, there's a Manage Super Setup button here where you can change the refund details or jump out to Beam if you need to change any of your details there. And one last thing, there's a couple of additional reports we've added. So there's now a superannuation payslips report. So that will say what super is on payslips basically. So we'll just run this and it should show what we were just looking at. Yeah, that's the total we just paid, and it's showing a breakdown, each person, each pay slip, whether it's superannuation guarantee, salary sacrifice, or employee additional. So nice easy report there. And there's also a payments report. So if we run this too, we can see details of the actual payment that we've made and the statuses. So this is all awaiting payment at the moment, but again, very useful report, so you can see exactly what's been paid for which employee, for which payslip, to which fund, and the full breakdown of the types. So that's also incredibly useful. So that is it. That's the Super Easy Super as part of Easy Payslip. Definitely recommend checking it out, especially now that for new businesses you can no longer register with the Small Business Superannuation Clearinghouse. And final point, this is completely Payday Super ready, as we're saying. So Payday Super will come in July next year, July 2026, and that will mandate that you need to pay super every time that you do your wage payments, a bit like you do your STP lodgements. Every time you do a wage payment today, you'll also have to actually pay the super. We'll make some small tweaks before then. Basically, what we'll do is add a button to your standard pay run summary that's like lodging STP. We'll add a button for pay super too. So that'll all come next year. So that's it. Any questions? You know where our support team is. But otherwise, thank you very much.